We got episode 4 and 5 of the Traitors season 4 on Thursday night. Let's talk about it. Here are my thoughts from these two episodes. To be quite honest, I was really bummed out in episode 4 because we lost a great player. I was so sad about what they did to Tiffany. I was just so annoyed with Colton. I watched his season of The Bachelor. I followed along with all the crazy things that happened, like his stalking allegations, stuff like that. So I've tried to give him a chance, but he honestly is just playing this game super messy. He's not looking very good. He looks kind of like a selfish player. Though he is a faithful, he's clearly only in it for himself. So like this episode, he decided, oh, it must be Tiffany. Tiffany must be a traitor because she's talking strategy, which this is a game. She's a gamer. She has an idea of who might be a traitor, and so she's laying out her strategy. And I think part of her strategy of keeping certain people that she thinks are traitors kind of closer than others, it's a strategy. She clearly laid out that she thought Michael was a traitor, she thought Jam Jam was a traitor, she thought Ron was a traitor, and she had an idea of who she was going to go after first. But Colton just decided that she herself must be a traitor. But the fact that he went around and whispered into everyone's ears oh, it must be Tiffany, and everyone seemed kind of uneasy about it, but Colton's just trying to take charge of the whole game. I am not impressed. I do feel really bad for Eric in this moment because Eric truly believed he heard Tiffany laugh when he was outside tied up to that tree, and so he truly thought he had some substantial evidence to back up Colton's claim that it was probably Tiffany. So I feel really bad for Eric. You can see in the next episode, when everyone's at breakfast, Eric is really sad and feels really bad about his decision. He feels responsible, and everyone was kind of backing Eric up you are the reason that we voted for Tiffany, not Colton, because it was so funny to see Colton try to go head to head with Tiffany. He just kept stuttering, and Tiffany is a very strong person, so she was defending herself, and it was just kind of funny to see that interaction between Colton and Tiffany because Colton was losing that argument. But the one thing that really drove people to vote for Tiffany was Eric's evidence. So I was really sad for Eric. I know it seemed like he was really taking it to heart, really personal, and I just felt so sad for Tiffany. I love Tiffany a lot, and it makes me really sad that she left this game. We've lost so many really good gamers at the beginning of this season, so I don't know what's going to happen now, but I felt really bad for Tiffany, really bad for Eric. Don't feel bad for Colton. Honestly, just seeing him play this game, when everyone was at the breakfast table and people were like, man, I feel so bad. They asked Colton, how did you sleep? And he was like, yeah, I slept okay. He just doesn't seem bothered at all about his actions in this game. He just seems like he's just playing this game only for himself, which a lot of people, obviously you want to win the game, but you can see that some people really care about the other people in this house. They're making friends, making connections, and I don't know why people are listening to Colton. I don't know. But that's my 2 cents about that. And I was so sad that we lost Monet so early. And unfortunately for Monet, she just told Candace her thoughts about maybe it's Lisa. And unfortunately, just because that one comment, they had to get rid of Monet because there was some suspicion out there. Another thought I have, it was so funny seeing Lisa approach Caroline at the beginning of this episode where they decided to off her. And Caroline was like, see you at BravoCon. And Lisa was like, nope, no you won't. It was also really funny to observe Lisa at breakfast because everyone was kind of questioning her about what happened when she was also in the woods. But I think she did a good job kind of keeping her cool. But now we know people are suspicious of Lisa, but she's doing her best. There's absolutely no way that during this challenge that one of those teams did not take the shield. And I'm assuming it's probably Colton's team because he was teamed up with 2 traitors and he's just a selfish player. So I'm assuming he took one of the shields, and I'm sure the traitors are like, thanks, Colton. The most appalling things that happened in these 2 episodes was watching Michael Rappaport eat his food by just shoveling it in his face. What was this? This was an interesting choice. I'm glad they showed us this clip though, because this was something. And the whole round table in episode 5, just the way it ended, there was a lot of just very unfortunate things that happened. Obviously, the stuff that happened with Ron, for instance, I don't think Ron's helping himself. When he was going after Dorinda, and he was like, I don't care about you. I don't really want to get to know you or your family. I'm just trying to be unbiased and play this game. I think, maybe he could have been a little bit more friendly, but honestly, they're just kind of shunning Ron. I mean, he made one bad call. Honestly, he had a lot of evidence because Portia was kind of flubbing up her words. She said certain things that kind of incriminated her. So he just went with the evidence he had. And so people are shunning him, ostracizing him. I don't like that. And so I understand maybe he's just being defensive because he just feels up against a wall. But it is really sad to see him walk into rooms and people just stop talking, so it's just not nice. And then we have this situation, the argument between Colton and Michael. I honestly don't know if he actually intended to be that offensive. I don't know if he's intelligent enough to realize exactly what he said and what he insinuated to Colton. but in any case, it sounded like he meant it. So obviously Colton took great offense to it, as did a lot of other people at that table. And I'm very glad that finally everyone was like, you know what, we don't care if you're a traitor or a faithful, let's just get you out of here. So thankfully Michael left this episode. I don't think him insulting Colton kind of exonerates Colton from some of the other things he's been doing this episode. But I do like how people kind of stood together with Colton. So that is really nice. But I do like how we see some people talking like they're a little suspicious of Colton now. I just don't understand why people haven't held Colton accountable like they've held Ron accountable. But thankfully Michael is out of this house. I'm interested to see what's going to happen next episode. But here we go. I don't know if he got a shield. I'm kind of assuming he might have gotten a shield during that one game. We'll find out next week. Also, why is everyone so obsessed with the smoked salmon? I thought this was funny. So many people were like, ooh, smoked salmon. Oh, I guess there was no smoked salmon, is there? Interesting. I don't know. Also, special shout out to Rob's overalls. You know, had to end the video with this. So, looking forward to next week.